So we've been honoring throughout our Black History Month and the presenters. Thank you once again, Sister Joanne Hardy, Brother Paul Moore, Sister Felisa Wainick, and Fallon will be coming up shortly. But let's give them a round of applause. Once again, our theme is African Americans and the Arts. There is 8 ways to honor Black History Month, and I'm going to give you those 8 in case you didn't know. Educate yourself on the Black history in your community. Number 2, visit a Black African American History Museum. Number 3, learn about Black music history. Number 4, read books written by Black authors. Number 5, watch films or videos by Black creators. Well, some of them I don't know you should watch, but yeah. Number 6, support Black-owned businesses. Number 7, support influential Black-led nonprofit organization. And number 8, go to church and worship. So this morning we have a very young and very, very sharp presenter. And Fallon, I'm going to ask you to come forward. He is going to be making our presentation this morning. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay, sorry.
His mom said not yet. Go on.
Do I present?
Go on.
All right. My name is Fallon, and I'm gonna present Henry Ossawa Tanner for this Black History Month. So. Henry Ossawa Tanner. Henry Ossawa Tanner was the first African-American artist to achieve international acclaim in the 19th century. While his early works, such as the banjo lesson, were concerned with everyday life as an African-American, Tanner's later paintings focused on the religious subjects for which he is now best known. It is likely that Tanner's father, a minister in the African Methodist Church, were a formative influence in this direction. Tanner's father, a college-educated teacher and a minister, later became a bishop in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. His father had a significant impact on his life. Tanner once thought he was to be a minister, but instead he became an artist. Throughout his career, he expressed his Christian faith with his art brush, preaching with it, just as his famous quote says, "I will paint with my brush." Tanner was born on June 21st, 1859 in Pennsylvania to Benjamin Tucker and Sarah Miller Tanner. During his early years, Tanner's family frequently moved as his father was assigned to different churches and schools. 1864, they settled in Philadelphia, where Tanner's interest in art developed. At 13, he decided to pursue a career in art after witnessing a painter at work at a walk-in gallery near his home. Throughout his teenage years, Tanner spent his spare time painting and drawing continually, and he made a point of visiting as many art galleries in Philadelphia as possible. In closing, I will leave you with one last quote. I believe in Negro blood. It counts and counts to my advantage, though it caused me at times a life, great humiliation and sorrow by Henry Ossawa Tanner. Yeah, I did.
And the picture that Frank is showing is appropriate because I did indeed ask an artist, and Fallon actually drew this picture. Very good. Good job. Yeah, so they can see. Yeah. That's actually a portrait of Henry Ossawa Tanner that Fallon actually drew. So now we will have a video. Thank you.
In 1906, the painting The Two Disciples at the Tomb won a $500 prize at a Chicago art competition. A journalist wrote,
"The picture shows the faces of Peter and John before the tomb of the Savior, with a fine light playing across their features, which are strained with expectancy."
More than a century later, this painting by Henry Ossawa Tanner is on display at the Chicago Art Institute. Tanner was born in 1859 to a formerly enslaved woman. Tanner's middle name, Ossawa, was an abbreviated form of Osawatomie, the town in Kansas where the abolitionist John Brown began his anti-slavery rebellion. After studying at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, where he was the only African American, and a stint teaching at Clark University in Atlanta, Tanner moved to Paris in 1891. During this period, he turned toward biblical themes.
In Paris, Tanner was awarded a medal at the famed Paris Salon for his painting, Resurrection of Lazarus. The French government bought it as a museum piece. Tanner took several trips to the Middle East, including 6 months spent around Jerusalem. Upon returning from the first of these trips, he painted Nicodemus Visiting Jesus, which won the prestigious Lippincott Prize. 10 years before his death, Tanner was the first African American to become a member of the National Academy of Design in New York. Although his fame declined in subsequent decades, it was revived in 1969 when the Smithsonian exhibited his work, the first significant exhibition of his work in the United States.